Taking a live look outside right now, clear with above average temps, but we're tracking some lake effect snow for this week, when it could arrive.
A heartbreaking update to a case in the missing local teacher. New tonight, the family now speaking out.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. After 9 agonizing days of fear and uncertainty, missing CPS teacher Linda Brown has been found dead.
Her family telling our Leslie Moreno she was recovered from Lake Michigan earlier this evening. Leslie joining us now, and you just spoke to her family.
That's right. They are heartbroken, as you can imagine. We were all hoping Linda would be found safe and sound. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Her body was pulled from Lake Michigan earlier this evening at around 4:30. We were here as Linda's body was pulled from the water near 31st and Harbor. 53-year-old Linda Brown was reported missing on January 3rd after family says she missed an acupuncture appointment. For the past 9 days, family and police searched for her, mostly focusing along the lakefront after surveillance footage showed Linda walking across a bridge towards the lake shortly before she disappeared. Family says Linda had been dealing with mental health issues and panic attacks leading up to her disappearance. Tonight, family is extremely grateful for all the support from friends and strangers and are asking for privacy for Linda's husband as they all navigate through this difficult time.
He is beside himself. He is just very, very upset. Again, this wasn't the outcome any of us was hoping for, especially Antoine. He really thought that we would bring Linda home safely and she would be alive and well. So he is very deep in grief right now as well. He cannot. He's having a hard time speaking and processing his thoughts, obviously, why I'm taking over as the spokesperson for my family in general. But yeah, he's beside himself. He just lost the love of his life.
And because Linda's story has reached people all over the country, the family also taking the time to address some of the rumors and speculations they say can now be put to rest.
Antoine has always been innocent. He's never been a suspect in this case. And so I know there was information that we could share where we had surveillance of Linda. So that's information that was not public until just recently. But we've seen a lot of apologies to Antoine. But at this point, I mean, that doesn't really even matter. But I'm glad that people are seeing, you know, who Antoine truly is, because that's not the person he is. And I'm just glad that the facts have been released and, you know, now we can move on as a family.
At this time, the cause of death is still unknown, pending an autopsy. Family says they will let us know about any funeral arrangements in the coming days. If you'd like to see the family's full statement, you can head to fox32chicago.com. For now, reporting live here in Chicago's South Side, Leslie Moreno, Fox Chicago.
Let's take a live look downtown as violence interrupters get ready to ride the CTA Blue Line. They're highlighting transit violence as attacks are on the rise. They will be boarding to provide a layer of safety for late-night riders. We'll bring you more from the activists on our morning show, Good Day Chicago.
Unseasonably warm today and getting even warmer tomorrow. Let's check in with Fox Chicago's Chief Meteorologist, Emily Walls.
Yeah, it's getting even warmer tomorrow. We're counting on highs that are going to be right around 50, so almost kind of feeling very spring-like for your Tuesday. We will be watching for a very small chance for a couple stray showers here or there, but the bigger weather story in the next couple of days is going to be all of the snow chances later this week. Your forecast low temperatures tonight way above average. We're only dropping down into the mid-30s typically for this time of January. Your average lows are right around 19 degrees, and here's where we're headed. Tomorrow near 50, and then we're going to be in the upper 30s, dropping to the low 30s through the day on Wednesday. By Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday, we're just kind of bouncing back and forth between the 20s and the 30s. But for the Bears game on Sunday, it's going to get even colder. I'm talking wind chills pretty close to zero, if not below zero. Those details coming up.
In the suburb of LaGrange, there is a debate brewing in the village over whether to demolish a historic little antique mall. Now, it's located near the corner of East Burlington and 6th. If you've been there, you know it's close to Ogden Avenue. The proposal would replace the space with a condominium development. At a village meeting tonight, residents say the proposal disregards the historical significance of the building.
Jackson Storage has lived many lives and has many lives to live yet. If the antique mall is kaput, that's a shame, but okay. It's the historic structure we must preserve. It's a rare gem, and we can use it, repurpose it, convert it.
Apparently, it's bustling. Right now, there are more than 70 small business owners operating inside that building.
Also out in the suburbs, the future of a historical blacksmith shop in Geneva is up in the air. The shop sits near the corner of East State and North Bennett Street, dating back to the 1840s. Proposals include apartment and commercial complexes. Last month, the Geneva Historic Preservation Commission unanimously voted to deny the developer's third request. City Council could overturn that decision.
The applicant did not present concrete development proposals and demonstrating that demolition is necessary to achieve community benefit, nor did the record establish reasonable alternatives to the demolition had been exhausted.
And looked at them whether they were in favor of or opposed to demolition. We believe that you would find that over 60% of those documents suggest that the structure should be demolished.
The developer previously proposed to demolish it back in 2017 and 2023. We'll bring you an update on that decision when it is made.
After months of debate, the Kane County Board will decide this week whether it is time to redefine the rules for short-term rental properties found on popular sites like Vrbo and Airbnb. Tomorrow night's vote is not meant to block what's become a common practice, but to ensure safety and to lessen the strain on wells and septic systems in unincorporated areas.
We've heard from various sources complaints about not good neighborliness, and that's what really got us to look into this and to say, all right, how can we keep people safe? How can we make sure that people are going to be good neighbors when maybe they're not inclined to be such good neighbors?
Regulations under consideration include home inspections prior to any rentals, 2 guests per bedroom with a maximum of 16 guests per property, no more than 12 rental contracts per year, and a $200 licensing fee on any short-term rental properties.
Field goal range. They want to get 7. They can use the clock. Williams throwing, and it's caught for the touchdown by DJ Moore.
So apparently Saturday's game was so loud in the stadium, some said you could feel it. Some even said Soldier Field was shaking.
Is that normal? Is it dangerous? Brett Bagansky shows you how you, the fan, can impact the game inside the stadium, but even on the Richter scale.
Saturday was memorable for a few reasons. Bears won their first playoff game since 2011, beat the Green Bay Packers, knocked them out of the playoffs, take the rubber match in that series, and the playoffs.
The best Soldier Field crowd I've heard in my 4 years.
It wasn't just loud. It felt different.
I've done 31 games in the stadium. It's the first time I feel it shaking like this.
I felt it under my feet first, and it's like this rumble of like what's going on here, and then you felt it on where your computer sits.
You could definitely feel it in the stands. I've never felt Soldier Field that exploded that.
I called the Bears about the decibel level. I'm still waiting to hear back.
You know, there's been multiple instances where sounds been recorded during sporting events that's in excess of 120 decibels.
North of 120 decibels, how would you describe that feeling?
You feel like you're at a rock concert, and at times, you know, some people even describe it as being close to a jet engine.
I talked to Kevin Butler, not that Kevin Butler.
I've heard that a few times, yes.
Kevin Butler, the engineer.
And an acoustical consultant within our venue sector at Henderson Engineers.
People were describing it being so loud that the stadium was shaking.
Yes, that has happened before. Sound is a pressure wave, which can cause materials to vibrate. So when you get 60,000 plus fans yelling, cheering, stomping, jumping around, you know, that can add a lot of energy into the stadium and into the structure and cause vibration and feel that sensation.
When people see a stadium shake, should they have to worry about their safety?
Well, there's nothing to be concerned about from a safety standpoint. Buildings are designed so that they're not completely rigid. They have some flex to help them move and dissipate vibration.
Fans have been so loud, they've even caused seismic activity. The famous Seattle Seahawks game in 2011, now known as the Beastquake and Taylor Swift's concert in 2023 both happen to be in the same venue. One geologist talked about why they stand out.
And with the original Beastquake, it was obvious it was the crowd. But in a concert, there's subwoofers, right? There are, the amazing sound system that is putting the beat into the ground. And of course, there's 70,000+ people, many of whom are actually on the field dancing.
There wasn't any seismic activity for Bears-Packers Saturday, but could that change Sunday? Brett Pagansky, Fox Chicago.
A caravan of vintage cars taking a trek along historic Route 66 and cruising right through our area, all part of the Drive Home program. It includes a stop at Navy Pier. This journey began on the West Coast, Santa Monica, California. It celebrates America's automotive heritage and honors the upcoming Route 66 centennial this year.
A wonderful way to experience America is to travel Route 66. It's going to take you all the way from Chicago, Illinois, across 8 states to Santa Monica, California. You're going to see all kinds of Americans, all kinds of landscape.
Their next stop, the Detroit Auto Show.
Frustration growing against immigration agents and their operations.
City of Chicago now joining the state, taking action, how they hope to hold the government accountable.
At Seattle Sutton.
State of Minnesota now suing the federal government.
They are trying to get immigration and customs enforcement agents to leave their state after the deadly ICE shooting. Federal officials say Renee Good had been trying to impede a law enforcement operation, was not complying with the agent's orders, and had tried to hit the agent with her vehicle. The Minneapolis mayor says Minnesota will stand up against what he's calling bullies.
You've seen the videos. At times, there are as many as 50 agents arresting one person. The scale is wildly disproportionate and has nothing to do with keeping people safe.
DHS says it has made more than 2,000 arrests in Minnesota since December. It's the largest ever immigration enforcement operation.
City of Chicago joining a lawsuit by the state that targets illegal action by federal immigration. The suit, filed by the Illinois Attorney General, accuses immigration agents of repeated rights violations and unlawful actions. The suit aims to hold the government accountable, accusing agents of stoking fears within local communities.
Let's check our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls. Cold this weekend, but for now, a little bit warmer.
A little bit warmer through tomorrow, but then after that, we have pretty big changes in store for us. So temperatures late this week, just going to be bouncing back and forth between the 20s and 30s, which, by the way, is very normal for December. But looking ahead to early next week, this is the Climate Prediction Center's temperature outlook from the 18th to the 22nd, which of course is Sunday when we have that Bears game all the way through the following Thursday. And we're strongly favored to see below average conditions. In fact, your high temperatures for that Bears game on Sunday only going to be in the upper teens to near 20 degrees once you factor in the breeze. We're looking at wind chill temperatures, whether we get the early time slot or the later time slot. It's still looking like we could be dealing with wind chill temperatures pretty close to 0. So very, very cold by Sunday. Futurecast taking us through tonight into early tomorrow morning. Really no weather-related issues other than it becoming windy tomorrow. We're going to have west-southwesterly winds gusting as high as about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, very mild. We're going to be right around 50 degrees. Then cold front's going to come through Tuesday night, setting us up for a much colder Wednesday. We'll have falling temperatures on Wednesday, and then that's going to bring in some snow showers. Maybe even some heavy lake effect snow is going to be possible for those of you in parts of northwest Indiana. At this point, it looks like it's mainly going to be a southwest Michigan problem, but I think for those of you in Porter and LaPorte counties, you could be dealing with a little bit of that. 50 degrees tomorrow, then 20s and 30s the rest of the week. Several snow chances. And then this weekend, things really get cold. 19 degrees for the high for that Bears game on Sunday. Here's a check of your weather pick of the day. This is coming to us from George out of Valparaiso. Gorgeous sunset from just a few days ago.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emily.
Latino in next in sports, Ben Johnson and the Bears has the city of Chicago believing again. And let's be real, how could you not after the Bears' epic comeback win against the Packers on Saturday? Did you see Caleb Williams? Yeah, grating cheese on live TV. Look at that facial expression. By the way, Ben Johnson letting the Packers hear postgame. More next in sports.
Fox 30.
Welcome back. Time now for sports. Well, it was one of the biggest playoff comebacks in Bears history, and it came against their biggest rival, the Bears stunning the Packers in the wild card round on Saturday night. You saw how much it meant not only to the Bears, but to the city of Chicago. Cassie Carlson has the latest on Ben Johnson's true feelings about the team up north.
There's always an exception to the rule. In this case, Ben Johnson's real feelings towards the Packers while celebrating the Bears' first playoff win in 15 years to send Green Bay packing.
There's a rivalry that exists between these two teams, something that I fully recognize and I'm a part of. And yeah, I mean, I don't like that team. So George and I have talked and we're on the same page.
The players appreciate the emotions their head coach showed too.
It was definitely a turned up moment. Like, you could just see the energy in the locker room, you know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, okay, Ben got a little swag by himself, you know what I mean? But, I mean, we all put a lot into this, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to, you know, kind of just, you know, act off your true emotions and your true personality, I mean, I think that's what it was for him.
Saturday night was one for the books, which players are still trying to process.
Games like that, you're going to remember your whole career, and then even when you retire. Like, these are type games that it's going to go down in history books.
But coming off an emotional win, the Bears now have to shift their focus to the Rams.
All that stuff's really awesome, and it feels very emotional and significant, but none of that affects the next week.
They're damn good.
Ben Johnson was in Detroit for 2 seasons with Matthew Stafford, the Rams quarterback playing at an MVP level and leads the league in passing yards this season.
He's one of the more supremely talented throwers of the football I've ever been around in my life. He's outstanding. I think he's a great teammate. But what I think second to none with him is his toughness, physical toughness.
The Rams will be welcomed into Soldier Field by single-digit temperatures on Sunday, making it the coldest game they'll play in all season. Matthew Stafford has a 1-9 record in cold weather games. At Hallis Hall, Cassie Carlson, Fox Chicago Sports.
Thanks, Cassie. Well, Caleb Williams rallied the Bears to their largest postseason comeback victory in franchise history, engineering his 7th fourth-quarter comeback win this season, putting together one of the best QB performances this franchise has seen, setting the Bears' single-game playoff passing record with 361 yards. He also became the first Chicago quarterback since Jim Harbaugh back in '91 to beat the Packers in back-to-back games. But no matter what happens next, FS1's Danny Parkins believes the Bears are set for years to come.
Now, no matter what happens, the team that had the most successful year in the NFL is the team that wins the Super Bowl. But the second most successful season in the NFL is the Chicago Bears. Like, found your coach, found your quarterback, exercised the demons against the Packers, validated it all by winning that game. Moment we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Like, this has been the most enjoyable Bears season outside of a Super Bowl trip in my lifetime.
All right, more with FS1's Danny Parkins on Chicago Sports Tonight with Lou Canellis right here on Fox Chicago at 9:30. You'll hear more from Cassie. And Paris Schucks also joins Lou to discuss the latest on the Bears stadium plan. All right, Packers are done for the season, but the Bears, well, they are moving on to the divisional round, and they'll face the LA Rams on Sunday. Official time will be announced after the Monday night game here in progress. But Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is going into this with an injury. The 37-year-old sprained his index finger on his throwing hand. It happened against the Panthers on Saturday. X-rays, though, came back negative. Head coach Sean McVay said he doesn't think Stafford will have to wear anything on his finger or hand to protect the injury, and he will be good to go for Sunday against the Bears. All right, to the ice now. Blackhawks hosting the Oilers. Connor Bedard was a late scratch due to an illness. Hawks looking for their 6th win in their last 7 games. Scoreless in the first till Evan Bouchard sneaks this pass to Zach Hyman. He gets a stick on it and lights the lamp. Oilers are 18-1-4 when scoring first. Yeah, Hawks trail 1-0 after 1, then just 16 seconds into the second period. Bouchard gets the puck, shoots it, and hits both skates off of Spencer Knight, and it finds the back of the net. Hawks trail 2-0 in the second intermission. Texans lead the Steelers right now 7-6 in the third quarter. Scott and Don, back to you guys.
All right, thank you. There's a new family member at the Brookfield Zoo Chicago.
We'll let you know all about this little guy.
You're on break.
Trending right now, the Brookfield Zoo, Chicago welcomes a new member to the family. This is a male Klipspringer calf, a type of antelope born January 2nd.
Cute.
The species is one of the smallest for antelopes. This little guy will only grow up to 2 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, so my height. His birth is special as males are less represented in the population.
Who knew?
Cute.
Nice to have a boy.
Yeah, very nice.
It reminds me of those little mini goats that people have that like hop around, because you know that little guy probably like hops like this. He doesn't like run, you know?
Very cute.
So cute. All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for you tomorrow. Very warm, 50 degrees for your high, partly cloudy conditions on Tuesday. Wednesday into Thursday, lake effect going to be possible across northwest Indiana, but during the day on Wednesday, we still have scattered snow showers for all of us. Friday and Saturday, on and off snow once again. For the Bears game, very cold on Sunday with a high of 19.
Right at time at 9. You can catch us anytime on your smart TV. It's Fox Local. We're on all the streaming platforms. Always start your day with Good Day Chicago tomorrow morning at 4:30. And don't forget to stay tuned for Chicago Sports Tonight.
Tonight.